My body is a temple, and it needs to be respected. My body is a temple, so I'm not gonna ruin it by eating a load of junk food and eating a load of unhealthy things. I'm not gonna ruin my body by laying in bed all day and bumming video games. I forgot what I was gonna say. My body's a temple. I'm going to do exercise, I'm going to get out there. And do you want to know why I've had this sudden change of heart, this sudden change of pace? It's because of Cells at Work. And Cells at Work, we did take a look at this series a couple of weeks ago on the channel, actually, with Cells at Work Code Black. And now we're taking a look at the main series. This is the first season, which does have 13 episodes, and it does follow a different body with some different cells inside it. And I quite enjoyed this season, not gonna lie. This one you can watch on Netflix, and without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say about this season. And it is a 2018 action anime with a 4.7 out of 5 on Crunchyroll and a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. You can also watch this on Amazon Prime, and a red blood cell and a white blood cell go through a series of adventures as they each fulfill their roles in the human body. And this one is a little different. This one doesn't have any overarching story. This one is much more based around the characters. It is a character-driven story and an educational-driven story, as every episode is a different disease, and unlike Code Black, it isn't like a disease after a disease after a disease showing a body's slow decline. It's just showing like a load of random diseases. Like we have a couple of stomach issues, we have a couple of skin issues, like some scrapes, some scabs, we have a tummy ache at one point. It is just basic, very basic injuries, and to be fair, I learned a lot from this series. I'm going to be honest, I learned a lot how the body helps recover itself, how certain types of bacteria end up getting into your system, how different types of germs just live in your body, and each type of injury sort of affects them and how they can get into your body. It is a really interesting series. The animation isn't the greatest, it's kind of scratchy. And I do like that more scratchy art style, not gonna lie. I don't like the clean, smooth lines. Yes, I do like looking at a load of art on Instagram, and I like looking at the smooth lines and stuff, but when I'm drawing, I prefer to have the scratchy, more art style. I think it just looks better when, I don't know, it's easier for me to do, and I'm very proud of my drawings, so I just prefer doing that art style. That's like my art style. So I did quite enjoy this series and its art style. The characters, again, are really well done because it gets you to feel like they're human. It gets you to care for them. And one of the characters which I was very upset by when they did get killed off was the cancer cell, because I don't know how they made one of the biggest diseases, one of the biggest illnesses on the planet, a very awful, very nasty disease, and I don't know how they made me feel sorry for it, but they did. They gave him like a tragic backstory. They gave him a really cool fucking power as well. He looked like Mahito mixed with Sukuna with his like style. And again, I do watch animes in dub, so he had Yuta's voice as well. So he was just like the pinnacle of Jujutsu Kaisen villains, and he was genuinely so cool and so badass, and I could completely get his point, and I was genuinely upset when he was killed. And I don't know how they could get me to feel sorry for cancer. Like, oh my god, that is such a wild thing to do, but this story manages to do it in the middle of the season as well, by the way. This is like a mid-season event, and then it's back to like one-off episodes until the final, which is again a really cool sort of moment where, for whatever reason, the body is going through a lot of blood loss. I don't know, it says it's like a hemorrhage, but I don't know what that is or what that's caused by. Like, it doesn't exactly say. So the body just randomly starts losing a lot of blood, and we get to see our characters in very high tense situations as they're battling these big bad germs and trying to deliver that oxygen, showing their motivation, showing how much they've grown throughout the series. And I think it makes for such a good last episode, just with the difference in character from the first to the last, showing how much they've evolved and developed as people, because they've gone through so much throughout this series. And again, I don't know about the timeline of this series, so I don't know if every episode is done like back to back to back, or if it's more of like a oh, this happened 1 week, this happened the next, this happened a month later. It doesn't really exactly feel very smooth, and this one is slightly different in the world building, because there is more characters in this one than there is in Code Black, with my all-time favorite character, the B-Cell. He's just so fucking cool. He has like a water gun, and that's how he kills the germs, and he's so silly as well. He's just goofy, and I like him. Like, others fight the germs with like swords and knives and their fists. He uses a water gun. And I think that's funny. I think that stands out. I think that's quite cool and creative. So seeing him go around and use this, like, water gun is also very hysterical. And we also have a couple of other cells which get introduced, with, like, the memory cell and the one that kind of looks like the guy from Let It Grow. It's like, how bad can I be? That one cell who, like, blackmails them all. Like, he's the dude who has like the green suit, and he genuinely looks sick as fuck as well. I love all the character designs, and to be fair, going back to my art point that I made earlier, I do enjoy looking at art on Instagram, and some of my favorite art is looking at like the Five Nights at Freddy's characters, the Winnie the Pooh characters, even the Sonic characters as humans. I think that is such a really cool art style, as well as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like seeing those drawn as humans. So seeing cells and stuff drawn as humans is something that's right up my alley, and something that I am quite interested in and excited to learn about and just to look into. So, you know, I thought it was all cool, and how they all look and how they all differentiate between each other, each one's sort of armor that they wear, especially with like the white blood cells, and then how the T cells look quite similar, but they're much more hench and buff because they fight with their fists, so they're more brutey and they're not as like smart. So it's just giving the cells like human characteristics based on their actual characteristics, and I'm not going to say it's how they actually look. Other than the white blood cell, like the red blood cell, obviously, that's when they have the color scheme in place, but the rest of the cells, I think they just made up what they wanted to. And it's just a really clever series, because the action's really cool, it gets you to care about the characters, and it builds up really good tension and gets you to feel emotion, so that it makes you want to take better care of your own body. I think it's just really clever and really smart, and I thought it was a really good series. Like, I'm genuinely running out of stuff to say about it at this moment in time. But it is a series which I do think you should all go and check out for yourself. Even if it is only just the first season, I do think you should go check it out. I do think Code Black is a lot better in terms of storyline, because it's like a more cohesive storyline that flows quite nicely and goes quite into the decline of a body, so it's got a bigger overarching storyline than just random diseases attacking, because this doesn't really have like a coherent storyline, because like all this stuff happens and then season 2 comes in, and season 2 makes me believe that it's like a child body that they're inside, and I'll talk about that in my season 2 review a little bit later. And this one is still cool, because again, it gives all of our cells backstories and like makes them as children, shows them like them growing up together and working together, and then it sets up like a will they won't they love relationship with the red blood cell and the white blood cell, even them having like a Romeo and Juliet past life where they were fighting like a disease, a cell, a germ together in the past when they were younger, but they forgot who each other's were because they can't remember their faces, even though they look identical, just bigger. Not gonna lie, their character designs didn't really change much from when they were younger, so it is kind of silly how you genuinely can't remember. I know we are looking at the characters all the time, so we get accustomed to what they look like, but it is still kind of weird how, like, they don't recognize each other at all. And that feels like a lost plotline to me, because it just kind of got forgotten about. It got mentioned in one episode halfway through season 1, and then just got never mentioned again. So it was very underutilized, and I feel like was wasted potential. And again, just shown for us for no reason, because it built up their backstory. Fair enough, and I did like how we got everybody's backstory, from the T cell to the white blood cell to the red blood cell, but adding that like little love relationship bit in, and the stuff that came after the story, being like, oh, I wonder where that white blood cell is now, and I wonder how he's doing. It's kind of, I don't know, I just didn't really like that, because it never went anywhere. It was definitely forgotten about, but it's still a good series, and it is something that I can overlook. And the series opens up really well with it being very peaceful in this town, and then it gets attacked by evil germs, and the characters are pretty much one note. They're set in their ways from the get-go. The red blood cell is very ditzy and gets lost all the time. The white blood cell is very violent, but also cool, calm, and collected. All right, so he is chill, and then the T cells are the one up, so they're all angry and broody and the Luds, and it's just a good series. So I hope you all do enjoy this video, and I hope you all do enjoy Cells at Work, because I will be doing some LEGO customs from this series, and I will be buying some anime figures from this series as well, because it is a series that I did enjoy. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all in the next one. I hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. And I'm going to rate this series a solid 7 out of 10.